Greetings petrolheads, welcome back to Automation, a car company tycoon game. Today we're going to be looking at the 1996 Spark Mark 6 and yeah, we got some revised aesthetics. Just one, like the pop-up headlights are gone. There's these pretty narrow rectangular headlights instead, which give it a sort of sleek look, I think, especially from the side. And the vents are still there. The vents between the number plate and these ones are gone though. The main grille is smaller. And I got some vents underneath the indicators now. That's the front end. And on the rear I changed the taillights a little bit. And then I also dragged the this diffuser over the exhausts, added some vents, and overall I think this is now a pretty sleek and aggressive looking 90s sports car. So obviously mechanically this is still the same, steel space frame, fiberglass panels, double wishbones all around, but the engine is now the one you saw in the Marina Glow, the 2-liter 5-valve per cylinder engine with 215 horsepower, revving to 8200 RPM. Yeah, so this is going to propel this thing up from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in, it should be 5.9 seconds. Oh, with a geared diff it is 5.9, I think. Yeah. It probably just didn't save that. In any case. Wait, this is not quite right. There we go. Okay, so not only is this car now quicker than the previous generation with the 2.2 liter N94, it is also significantly more economical. It is slightly heavier, but that's just how it goes over the years. Show me one sports car that today is still as light as it was in its first generation. Even cars like the Mazda MX-5 did gain weight over the generations. So yeah, there is that. Right. What else is there to talk about? We have 205s all around. Sports Stars 16-inch alloy rims. I think this is actually exactly the same as on the previous generation. And then we still have a very similar brake setup as well. 320mm 2-piston vented discs up front, 280 1-piston vented discs on the rear. We have a fully clad undertray. I'm gonna add cooling flaps. No, they cost $200. I don't think that's worth it for the car using 0.2 liters less per 100 kilometers. It may be worth it for the consumer, but wait, why does this have advanced safety? It's not supposed to have advanced safety. That's a saving bug. Sometimes it just sets the safety to advanced, and adds a lot of weight that way. In any case, less than 8 liters per 100 kilometers is actually really good for a car like this. Less than 1,000 kilograms is also nice. 5.8 seconds still. What does this do around the automation test track now? .2, so it is slower than the Glow, but the Glow is also mid-engined and it just puts down power better. But for what the Spark is, I think it's actually pretty good. The Spark Mark 5 in 9.4 I think did the automation track in 2:24 something, so this is at least 2 seconds faster. And then 14.2, 14.3 quarter mile time is also faster than the Spark Mark 5, which it should be. However, drivability is also really good at 38.7. That's a pretty good value. And then, well, I don't know what to do about wait. See, I don't know how to change these things now, because the Spark Mark 6 is obviously going to replace the Spark Mark 5. However, how do I make it so that the well, what you see here is inline 4 and V8, that those get replaced in 1996 by the Mark 6 V8 and Mark 6 inline 4. I don't know how to do that. Maybe that's not even a feature in the game yet, but will be coming with the light campaign. So for now, I have no idea how much the car would cost. But what I can do is, of course, is show you the V8 version of the Mark 6 now, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah, looks exactly the same, and has the same V8 engine in there still as you've seen in the Spark Mark 5 and the Flare Mark 5 as well. But it now gets a 6-speed gearbox with a geared diff. It has sports tires. Actually, it should have bigger rims. Yeah. Then 245s all around. Wait, did this save? Yeah, this also put advanced safety on there, which it shouldn't have. Where were we? 245s all around. Vented discs. They're still big enough, like it's no big deal, I don't need to change them. Plenty of airflow, cooling flaps. This should have ABS. And then the adaptive dampers. And we get a car that weighs 1134 kilograms, which is still very light. Uses less than 12 liters per 100 kilometers, and will do 0 to 100 in 5.3, which is maybe a little bit less impressive than the quarter mile time and the quarter mile speed. Quarter mile time is 13.4. Quarter mile speed is 188 kilometers an hour. That's really good. And then the top speed is 294, which is also faster than with the previous generation Spark V8. Now the Spark Mark 5 V8 had a wing on the rear. This gets a lip. This gets just a lip to make it a little bit more aerodynamic. Obviously, this does not have the downforce then, so wait, what did the Spark Mark 5 V8 do around the automation track? 217 something, I think? Okay, then in this case this is faster around this track as well, to 16.74, and that is probably down to the fact that this has a 6-speed gearbox and also wider tires. This has 245s, the Mark 5 has 235s, and yeah, as a result this just outperforms the Mark 5 slightly, but in every category, and it also uses less fuel while using the same engine. Yeah, even in the higher speeds it still goes pretty decently, pretty damn well, but I made it so that 6th gear is mainly overdrive. Like it shifts into 6th gear just before its top speed, and that helps with economy, of course. So with the price, again, I have no idea where to really put this, but performance-wise, what could you compare this to in 1996? Like the obvious rivals would include something like a Supra or a Skyline GTR, or you know, the C5 Corvette, stuff like that. Yeah, so this would, I don't know how it would stack up to those cars. I don't have any performance figures for any of them really, but what do you think? I mean, the top speed is really good. Acceleration is certainly also not too bad. I don't know how quickly any of them go around Laguna Seca or any other track for that matter. But in case you have the numbers, here's gonna be, I can tell you how fast this would be around Laguna Seca. So the flying lap, remember, is sector 3 here, 146.53. 146.53. Again, I don't have a reference for any of its contemporary real-world rivals, but I think it does pretty damn well. So yeah, let me know what you think about this car. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.